You're going to sidekick. Jake, how are you? I think just white people suck.
Certified love his puss, you know?
Welcome to the show. You're faking cancer.
Yeah.
Certified pussy boy.
When I was 3, I got bit by a tick in my head, and then from the time that I was 3 to when I was 16, I was in and out of wheelchairs.
My name is Jacob Andrew Sharp. This is Jake Doolittle. Yes, Jake?
So you just changed the subject, but I was about to say something.
That's real.
So
the thing, like I have sound buttons, but I guess they're not on.
No, I think you have to upload them into this and then do it. That blows, man.
That blows. I hate doing more work. I just send me the thing and have like all my fart sound effects already uploaded onto it.
Yeah, long fart, short fart.
Yes, quick. I literally have that. That's how it's saved in Final Cut for me. It'll say like long fart. There's one called nuclear fart. There's one called fart with reverb. There's quick fart. Maybe I already said quick fart.
You already said quick fart, but there could be 2.
Okay. I think there might be. Then there's just like normal fart.
Yep.
There's diarrhea fart.
Oh.
That's what I have it saved as, and it's
Diarrhea.
pretty silly.
That's really
Diarrhea
silly.
fart is pretty funny.
I can't even spell it.
Okay. I'm not joking. Because of how much diarrhea I have. And how often I talk about it with my friends.
Sure.
Or tweet about it. I am constantly Googling how to spell diarrhea. Which is embarrassing because of how much I talk about it. So I'm going to take a stab at... You take a stab at how to spell diarrhea.
Oh, God, buddy. There's an H in there?
There is, but it's such a... It really makes me nervous at where it's placed. I'd never remember.
Diarrhea. Is it Diah and then something else? Or is it DIH?
It's It's DIARRHEA. I'm almost certain. I think diarrhea, like it's diarrhea. DIAR. Yeah, DIARRHEA.
I need to see it spelled out.
Do you,
oh my God,
do you want to know what?
Horrible.
Right? Isn't that... When have you seen 2 R's and an H next to each other?
Horror.
Just in diarrhea.
Yeah, literally.
Do you want to hear what Google... if you Google diarrhea and you go to the all section, don't go to images. If you go to diarrhea, do you want to hear what the description is?
I would love to.
Diarrhea. Loose, watery, and possibly more frequent bowel movements. Is a common problem. It may be present...
It's not a present.
It may be present alone or be associated with other symptoms, such as nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, or weight loss. Luckily, diarrhea is usually short-lived, lasting no more than a few days.
Good.
I disagree with that last part.
That's true. Sometimes you have weeks.
Yeah. Well, when you're sick or when you're on heaps of medication, diarrhea is actually like a constant pain, and or if you have irritable bowel syndrome like me, it's just like, that's why everyone's like, do you always have to talk about poo? And I'm like, yes, I do, because every day I wake up and a child's arm falls out of me.
That's all your life is.
It's a medical fascination. I'm like, most people don't even get grossed out like when they're like, yeah, right. And I'm like, you want to see a picture? And then they go, oh, wow. Like, it's not even like, ugh. Like, it's like, whoa, you're like I'm like a national treasure when it comes to poop.
I agree. I can actually corroborate that because on tour...
Yeah, you can testify.
Yeah, on tour I saw what may be the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And that it was your shit. And it wasn't just any shit, but it was, it looked, it It
It looked
looked
like I took a poo and then a different human being took a poop on top of it.
yes, yeah.
I
It
took
was horrible. There was nothing
Yeah.
good about it.
See, the thing when people say when they look at it and they're like, "Ew, that's disgusting," and I'm like, "Hey, I made that.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Hey,
do you
that's like
think
my
that
baby.
I? Well, and also, oh, is it gross to look at? Imagine how I feel every single day.
You have poop dysmorphia.
I'm like, ever since I was a kid, I would hold it because I was scared.
Yeah.
That's so not okay. I would hold it in, and it would only get worse.
Of
But I
course.
would hold it in because of the fear of going to the bathroom.
Yeah, so maybe that's why it when it comes out it is the size of your full intestinal tract, you know?
I'm backlogged. I'm
Yeah.
backlogged in poop. Like,
Yeah, literally it
like a commentary YouTuber who's about to go on tour. I'm backlogged. I'm backlogged. Yeah, like literally back. There's a log in my back. I'm backlogged.
That's true, right at the bottom of your back.
Right at the bottom of my back, baby.
Sure.
That's what we're talking about. I want someone. Oh fuck! I had a. Someone told me recently that they've been saying "G's to B's" and that they've been saying "Holy macaroni," and then that they've also been saying whenever they go like have like a they have like a downer day and they go back to like take a nap to like kind of like be sad, they go better luck next month, and I go and they were like, I say that because of you, and I was like, that means like the fact that there's a world where other people live in my stupid bits, that's unbelievable.
Sure.
It makes me so it makes me so happy that maybe one day like that like you just said, there's something at the bottom of my back. I want people to only refer to their butts as the bottom of my back.
Yeah.
Like if we get to live in that world, it just makes me so happy because I think it makes me happy because I'm like, oh, I'm not, it's no longer in my insane, stupid little head anymore. Like people are like affirming that I'm like a real person now.
Yeah. Which
Because this is the way I talk.
yes.
I walk around going, G's to B's, buddy. And then people are like, what the fuck? And I'm like, because that doesn't make sense. But I'm like, no. It's a play on G's Louise.
Sure.
And then I have to explain that because G's Louise hasn't been said in like, I don't know, 100 years.
I think like that's where you get all of your like catchphrases is from like a 1920s joke book for sure, where it's like, shucks.
Holy wackazoly, or cripes almighty.
Cripes almighty.
Cripes
Yeah.
almighty. I like I like old stuff. So my friend Miss Saney, I think she was the person who kind of inspired it in me. She talks like that all the time. I remember we were in Brooklyn. This is like maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was like me, Curtis, Jenna, Miss Saney, and our friend Julia. We were all staying in an Airbnb in Brooklyn, and I went and took one of my famous poops. I was in there for a while, and then I came out and I was like, "Whew, that stinks." And then Miss Saney went, "Yeah, well, you friggin' crapped." and she talks like she says like I think I was working with her recently, and she was telling me how she the other day she used the term, well, that doesn't cut the mustard, like as in like that's not good enough. And it's just she is full of things like that. Like
Okay,
she's
so
full of like great, like I guess, are those idioms? Are
yes,
they?
yeah.
So like it's just like old sayings. Like she talks like a cartoon housewife. Like she talks like a
Sure.
50s. Like it's insane. It's
Yeah.
pretty incredible to listen to.
Well, I've learned that like being around like you and Curtis and Dean, I've learned to like say like I say buddy a lot now. And
Oh yeah.
But the downside is like in Maine, and it's a bunch of like frat boys, they think that when I say buddy, like I'm trying to step to them. So like
Oh, it's like a threat.
right, so like the guy will hold the door for me, and I'll say thanks, buddy, and then he'll like do like a double take, like I'm demeaning him, and I go no no
Oh,
no.
like buddy is like a it's not a term of endearment. It's like
Right.
it's almost an insult. Like it's sarcastic.
Yeah. So that's been a bit of a learning curve because then I talk to you
Right.
and I say buddy buddy buddy, and then I go to the grocery store and I say to the cashier, I say thanks buddy, and then they look at me like I just murdered their family. So
Yeah, so I think it's I've been going through something similar but with pal. Saying pal is, I find some people can take the wrong way.
yeah. Yeah.
Which but I don't really say it in person. I say it a lot over text, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when you say it in person, like, how's it going, pal? It's very like there's an uncle behind me who is like, I'm like a puppet of an uncle who actually
Yeah.
doesn't care how you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's whoa, holy moly. Check out that sneeze.
Thank you.
Okay, I have stupid sneezes, and I've learned recently that I always used to plug my nose when I sneezed,
Oh.
which is not good for you because I think like one, I shouldn't be putting any more pressure on
I
my
was gonna say
brain
your
than I
shunt's
should.
gonna explode. Yeah.
It's gonna pop, and maybe that's what happened this past week. But I've learned over the past year that I have to stop doing that. I'm also scared that like the triangle piece of skull that they took out of my head, if I do it, it'll just pop out.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Like you plug
I think that'd
your
be
nose
really-
in your ears and like things like
Just
happen.
feel-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
yeah. I'm like a really sad Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. Mr. Potato Head with lots of
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah,
And,
shunt not included.
True.
Well, it is. It's already in there, and you can't really take it out. It's not very fun.
That would be. You should. Is that a new collab?
Yeah.
Is it Jacob Sharp and Mr. Potato Head?
Yeah, exactly. What's the one that like the bobblehead, Mr. the what are they called? Plinko dolls or whatever?
Sure.
You know what I'm talking? What are those called?
I think I know what you're talking about. Let's call them Plinko
They're-
dolls.
I don't know what they're fucking called, but they're like the little bobbleheads, and you'll like see some for like The Walking Dead or some shit. Then they have some for like
Oh, Plinko.
You know what I mean?
Funko Pops.
What are they called?
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. That's it. Funko Pops. What are those
Plinko
fucking things?
dolls.
You see them in like your local adult comic store. It's like next to a guy with like it's like next to a guy with like a Megadeth t-shirt and like long hair. And he's like really nice because he's like, "Hey guys, what are you up to today?" And we go, "Nothing, man. We're just here to look at all the stupid shit." And then
We're here to look
and
at
then
the
we do-
Plinko dolls.
the Plinko dolls. That's what I don't know what they're called. The Funko Pops. That's what they are. So,
I love
dear
you so
Funko Pop,
much.
I got
That's so
like
funny.
I am I'm the least articulate person I think on planet Earth. I try to explain myself in the most colorful way, but it's really just it's because I'm not listening. That's
Sure.
why, like the reason I say things like "oh geez to bees" or "holy macaroni" is because I'm trying to buy time to be like, what's that fucking thing called?
Sure.
Because I have something to say, but I can't remember any of it. So yeah, Funko Pops. Let's make me a little shunt doll.
That would be really cool.
I think
If
that'd be
you
cool.
or and you could like take off the skull and you
Yeah,
could see
yeah, and
inside
see
your
my
brain.
see my brain, and then you could like operate on me, like you could do the biopsy, you could do my craniotomy,
Except
stick a
the,
needle in my brain, and hope you don't kill me. Cause
yeah, except the
it's pretty
success
dangerous.
rate is pretty low, so you're gonna kill your Funko Pop. That sucks.
Yeah, and the fun part is like you can do there's a fake telephone where you get to FaceTime my family, and when they're crying because they're sad that I might be dying, but I don't understand because I'm so high on drugs. It's a really fun thing to replay.
Yeah, you have like oxycodone prescription. Like you have to get prescriptions out of pharmacies.
Oh yeah, you gotta do the awkward thing of like trying to get Dilaudid from your local pharmacy, but trying to
Sure.
prove that like, no, I have cancer. I'm not like addicted to oxys.
Sure.
But recently, hey, we both have some. I got to relive that a little bit recently.
That's true.
We talked about this already on our podcast that no one will ever hear, but because we clipped, the audio was no good. So
The audio
hopefully
was no good, and I hope it's much better. You sound much better. I hope I sound
Yeah.
better. I hope it doesn't clip. If it clips, I'm gonna lose my marbles. You know what? I hope
exactly.
that somebody else besides us is watching this right now. That's my goal for this.
that someone else watches this.
Yes, because I just want somebody outside of us
Oh yeah.
to watch this so that
That's what a podcast or like anything you post online is just trying to get people to watch you hang out.
Mhm.
A podcast is just inviting people to hang out but not letting them participate.
yes.
We have a section. It's like the comments section is like a kids table. Like you get
That's true.
to be a part of Thanksgiving, but you have to sit over here and you guys can have your little conversation while the big kids talk. It's very strange.
It is really weird, but also like sometimes like if the comments section was a kids table, there's like the little rascal, right? Like there's the one
Yeah.
saying that you're not sick and that you're
Yeah. There's a
you're
little, or yeah,
insane.
you're just going gay. That's the one.
Yeah.
I don't want to do Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's gay. More like Thanksgiving.
It's giving Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
But then basically everybody else at the kids table is great.
Everyone else at the kids table is the best, and I want to be friends with the rest of the kids table. But there's some people at the kids table that you have to go, oh, sorry, you're actually not allowed to watch this at all. You're not allowed. You actually have to go.
Yeah, just wait for just wait for life to take its course and for them to die at a young age.
That's what we're all hoping for, right? That's what my new video is about, is me ranking my negative comments.
Oh, good.
And,
That's really
me being
exciting.
Me being a little petty bitch.
No, but that's really good. Are you showing usernames? Because we've talked about this. Are you
I
showing?
think so, because I don't really care.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was
Especially
someone
on
who
YouTube,
commented,
it doesn't really matter.
what are you gonna like? Are we really gonna attack someone who has like 5 subscribers and leaves a paragraph on every video they see?
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
you can't
Like,
message
I'm
them.
just-
Like,
No, we can just laugh at the stupid shit they say.
yeah, for sure.
So, I went to the hospital recently, not just in general.
What,
You and I are there a lot.
week ago.
Huh? A week ago.
Okay.
On Friday morning, because I went to a Raptors game with my old high school buddies. Then I woke up the next morning with a crazy pain in my neck, shot all the way up my shunt and into the top of my head. And I woke up and I was having trouble breathing because it was messing with my sinuses. And I had to turn to Eilish at like 6 in the morning and go, we need to go to the hospital. I think I have another tumor, because it was so similar to when I was waking up with that pain and going to the hospital and then they found a tumor. It was very similar to that. So I got to relive that really fun trauma of going to the hospital, not knowing what's going on. And then after a day at the hospital, multiple scans, some tears,
Yep.
we got to find out that while there's no new tumor, there could be something wrong with your shunt, but we don't really see anything right now. So we're going to send you on your way. Here's some pain meds. Good luck. And the pain has kept going, so I'm just taking these pain meds and hoping that works. And then I did my own research, which is a good idea.
Yes, seriously.
If you aren't finding answers and if stuff isn't working, do your own research, because I was talking to my therapist about this because I was like, hey, I relived some trauma and I don't feel very good. And then she told me doing your own, and I felt guilty about doing my own research. And she was like, no, you should, because you're supposed to be working with your doctors. Your doctors, she
Sure.
was like, you're helping them. She excuse. Like, and if anyone gets mad, that's their own ego with their profession and their career. Like, so what I found is that if you have a shunt on your neckline, you have to be careful of the way you sleep, because you can cause a kink in your shunt, depending on where it is and how you sleep. So I sleep like this, which is the most comfortable way to sleep in my opinion. Like I do hands in like this, and then my like knee up like the number 4. Like
Wait,
I straddle
you sleep with
like
your
I sleep
head down?
on my stomach,
Yep.
head up, arm up, both arms up, and then I do like one knee up onto like a large pillow. So like I'm straddling something. Well, like Eilish and I are pretty hardcore with pillows. Like we have 3 on each side. Because we like it's nothing's better than flipping onto an ice cold pillow that's just been laying like waiting for you.
That's true.
But I found out that if you sleep a certain way, there's like few cases, because like there's not that many people with shunts in their heads.
Yeah.
But there's a few cases of people sleeping like that, and the shunt actually having a kink in it and pinching your muscles or your nerves. So that they were like, that could be an issue. Like the doctors didn't say this, like it was like online. I was like, okay, that could be it. I could be sleeping wrong or putting too much pressure on it. But also a few days before I was working out, and I felt something yank, but it was on the other side. So like I was like, that could have been it, but also like it's so difficult sometimes to be like, when you have a niche thing. And I know you can relate to this, when you're like, when you have inconsistency with pain, or it's it's very like, it's hard to articulate and it's hard to explain where exactly it's coming from and what might have caused it, because it just starts happening, and it sucks that you like. Sometimes I'm like, I just wish I had like a normal thing to like. It sucks that I go and I'm like, yeah, there's a tube in my head. Because I had a rare placement of a brain tumor, and like all my stuff is very just like, it's very unique. Like people in the ER don't deal with me every day. They deal with people who go, like there's something wrong with my heart, and then they're like, oh yeah, you have like that. Like it's to be like, I have a shunt and something's wrong. Like there usually needs to be a specialist or something.
And usually specialists aren't the easiest to get a hold of, or the closest to your place. Like usually it's a whole process to talk to a specialist. So it sucks.
It sucks. It's and also we went to the same hospital that my neurosurgeon works at. So that's like where we went to St. Michael's, which is where I got my shunt and where I had my craniotomy. So I was going. Like, we went just because, Eilish was great, and I felt bad because it was kind of the thing of, like, when we were going through it all, Eilish kind of turned to me and was like, oh, this is what it was. And I was like, yeah, like, this, like, it was the first time she had really been able to, like, go through triage and then go be, like, it was the real first time that she really got to do all that. But it was kind of traumatic for both of us, because it was, like, we were both, like, just, like, on the verge of tears the whole time, because it was so reminiscent of that time.
Yeah.
But then she was so incredible, because like she was like, it made me sad, because I was like, I wish she could have been there the entire time, because Eilish is very good at being like, no, don't forget to tell them this and don't forget to tell them that. Yeah. Because I'm the type of person that tries to make it easier on the nurses by withholding information.
Yep.
So I'm not burdening anybody.
Yeah.
Which is almost hurts the nurses and hurts the doctors more, because withholding information is like their least favorite thing, because they just want to help.
Yeah, I catch myself doing that sometimes, or I'll be like, yeah, I just want to get out of here. Like I just want to go home, and I'll say just about anything to go home.
Exactly, because I'm like, no, there's pain, just give me stuff and I'll leave. Like because I had like packed a bag in the like to prepare myself for them being like, we got to do a surgery, we got to take your shunt out, something's wrong, and you're going to be here for like a week, so I was like packing my stuff to be like, all right, I'm going back in, like,
Yeah.
which was a nightmare. But Eilish had the great idea to be like, there's a hospital closer to us, but she was like, you got all your surgeries at this hospital. Let's go back to that hospital. And which was the great idea. But in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe I will go in and my neurosurgeon will be there and he'll see me and he'll know. And I'm like, but what are the odds of my neurosurgeon putting around in ER on the off
Jacob
chance
was going to
that
be in today.
yeah. No, I just thought I had a feeling. I had one of my spidey my neurosurgeon senses were tingling.
My
And
shunt
I feel like I have my he has a shunt too, and that's how we
Really?
communicate. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
can you rub it?
that's I have the qualifications to be a surgeon now because I've had it done to me. So now I'm like, I know what to do.
Because you've had surgery.
I've had surgery on my head, so now I go, okay, I know how this goes.
Perfect, yeah.
Yep. We both do drugs, and you wake up with a shunt.
That's good. But how are you feeling now? Are you in pain now?
On and off, but it's a lot less than what it was. Like, it's way more. It's like very minimal now. So like the pain meds are doing what they're supposed to, and they're also anti-inflammatory. So it must have been something where like it was a muscle or like a nerve that was being affected by the shunt or something.
Yeah.
So the anti-inflammatories they've really helped. Sleeping sucks because I constantly wake up and my body is naturally trying to turn myself back onto my side or on my stomach. And sleeping on your back, I know some people can do it, but it feels so stupid.
It's
like
the worst.
I feel like an idiot.
I feel like I'm in a coffin. Yeah.
Right?
It sucks.
It feels like I'm an alien being like, okay, humans, like I'm a human that goes to bed.
Yeah.
Excited for my dreams. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Or you're in your your cryo chamber and you're like frozen like that, or like a Black Mirror episode. Like you're just stuck there.
Like I'm a Ridley Scott character.
Yeah, it's
like we're going to a new planet, and it's gonna take like 400 years to get there, so I gotta lie down for a bit.
Sure, it's the worst. For my knee surgeries, I slept on my back, and it was
probably a disaster.
Yeah, it's a disaster, but we'll
sleeping after surgeries.
Sometimes it's great.
Sometimes it can be great because you're so, like, I felt like I was still high for like weeks because of the anesthetics. Is that it? Anesthetics?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I like, and I had the dry mouth stuff of waking up, like I would wake up because I would be gagging because I would still have the feeling of the tube in my throat.
Yeah.
And it would and I would just like wake up like and I was like, and it was before I had started chemo or radiation, so I was under the impression that like, oh, I guess cancer makes you puke, which is not true.
Right.
It's just like the stuff around cancer, the stuff that
it's
happens to you.
Getting rid of cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that's interesting because one of the worst parts is like oxy makes you feel warm.
Yep.
And so that was one of the real downsides of taking it after surgery. And then like I would like wake up in like a pool of sweat and then like not be able to sleep, and then
did you ever have like the what?
Then I feel my knee bleeding, and then it's a whole thing.
Oh God.
What were you
did
gonna
they
say?
have staples or stitches?
Stitches.
Yeah, I woke up once in my because I have a scar on my tummy. And like they always tell you to look out for blood or pus or anything because that stuff's never good. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night because I was in a heap of pain, in my stomach, and I like woke up and I was like, oh, it's just because I just got like cut open down there.
Yeah.
To like feed the shunt through, but and then I woke up. And then I looked down and I was like, oh, like it was like, and I don't, it's gross, but it was like, it looked like the biggest zit I've ever seen in my life, where I was like, uh-oh, I guess that's infected, because I was like, it looks like an eyeball with no like pupil or like no color, just a blank eyeball. Like I was like, it was so gross, and I like, I had to wake up and just like, you know, drain it.
Yeah.
But it was like, it made me worried, because I was like, oh yeah, they cut you open, and sometimes it can just like, it's an open wound.
Yeah.
And they just try to sew it up, and then sometimes your body's like, it rejects it, and then you just start bleeding and leaking.
Yeah. Yeah. It's scary as fuck.
It's horror movie stuff. It's awful.
I had a call with my surgeon yesterday.
Right.
And so I mean, the surgeries that I have scheduled or are going to schedule are pretty standard. Well, some of them. So wisdom teeth within the next month or two, that'll be fine.
Hey, that'd be great.
And then I had the option. I have plates and screws in my knees, and in the winter, especially in the snow and stuff, I can feel my knees creak and pop, and they hurt like crazy. Like I feel like, and I looked this up and it makes sense, but I feel like I can feel the metal on the inside, like get smaller with the cold and then expand back out with heat. Like how metal does that. Like I can feel it just feels awful. And so I had all these surgeries at a hospital for special surgery in New York, where they put them in and did all these crazy things that no other doctor could do. And then I wanted to see if my main surgeon could just take out the plates, because he's not doing any of the structural stuff, the bone, whatever, the cartilage stuff. I just want to see if he can take them out of my body. And so I had a call with him yesterday, and next week, April 5th, I have x-rays, and then hopefully the week after or the week after that, then I get them out.
Wow.
But the real downside to all of it is the infection rate on taking hardware out is super high.
Right.
And because we were
there's
just
always
talking about that.
Yeah. Well, and there's always the risk of like just having another surgery.
Oh yeah.
There's always a risk of like being cut open and having stuff go in or out.
Of course.
Because you always have to sign that thing being like, I'm aware that my organs might shut down from the fact that you guys are cutting me open again.
Yeah.
And then have you found out yet if you're going to be going under, or is that going to be more of a decision?
I think I will be, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine they would just like, I don't know, like numb you and then
no, I
cut your
doubt
leg
that.
open.
Yeah, I think they would need me out for. I think it would.
I would
be,
hope so.
But also, so what's different about this, and I've never had this done before, so it sort of freaks me out. I've had hardware out what seems like a million times. This will be my 8th major knee surgery.
Jeez Louise.
Is it Dean?
No, I have to take my anxiety meds.
Well, anxiety isn't real, so.
Exactly. Well, I am drinking coffee, so I guess that one's on me.
Got your coffee in the morning, so.
Yeah, okay.
Feeling a little
Shake
jazzed
Milton
up.
over here. Yeah, yeah.
I
said Shake Milton because of anxiety.
Yes.
You got it. I wasn't just calling Shake Milton out for
being anxious.
Being anxious. I don't know. I'm sure
Shake
being an
Milton's
NBA
a
player is
basketball
pretty
player.
hard.
Yes.
For the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah. Not that good.
Anyways. Yeah, I thought he was gonna have the career Tyrese Maxey is going to have.
Yeah, Shake
I
Milton.
thought that was gonna be Shake Milton, but hey, you never know. What is he?
No.
Second year, third year?
Nah, Shake Milton sucks.
Yeah,
His name's Shake. Are you kidding me?
It's a fucking sick name. There's a guy on the Nuggets called Bones Highland.
I love Bones. I love that name, Bones Highland.
Best nickname ever.
Nickname, but he goes by it. Like his name's Nashawn, but
he goes by Bones.
Yeah, it'll say like B Highland. Like what?
Yep.
That's so cool.
And the NBA recognized it as like, yeah, man, your name's Bones.
Yep, that's it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I could go on about NBA names all day.
Anyways,
but so
buddy.
So they're taking out the hardware, and the thing that makes my surgeon sort of uncomfortable, and we're gonna try to figure out how to do this, is to save time and to make things, I guess, easier. But we'll see how it works. They're taking them both out at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And I've never had that done. Usually it's I go to New York, one side, go to New York, the other side.
Right.
Because I need a leg to crutch on.
Right. So will you potentially be in a wheelchair then? Because
yes.
like the thing I'm curious about is for your for your knees, will you be like what support do the plates like, do they help with like support basically in your knees? Like will like you have to go through like physio and like rehabilitation to like get like mobility back?
So that was my worry at first, because that's this past 7 knee surgeries I've had to go to PT for months. Like it's been like I have been in PT more in the last 4 years than not. And so, but what my doctor said was that as long as they're healed, and that's the only way that he'll do the surgery, as long as everything is fully healed from last March when I had the surgeries, they just, my knees just support themselves now. So
wow.
the plates don't need to be there. The screws don't need to be there. Like none of it needs to be there, because apparently everything is healed. And recovery time is like 3 days.
Oh,
right.
That's great.
Right. Like
that's crazy.
Oh, isn't that ridiculous that they can go like the recovery time is just the skin healing?
So I guess that makes sense, because I guess the point of the plates is that you don't have them forever, and your knees basically that whole time you're rebuilding muscle and you're rebuilding like mobility. That's incredible.
So
but listen to me being like, wow, science, huh? Like duh. Like fucking duh. Like that's why they put them in there, I guess.
Science, man.
Like me being like, I guess there is a reason for everything.
Yeah, I guess people should believe in science as your brain is functioning through a tube.
Yeah.
Like,
So they didn't just do that as like a little funny. They didn't do that as a silly, huh?
yeah.
They just did that because you needed to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what sucks is like it is an optional surgery. Like I don't have to ever get them out, but I feel like I can feel them, and I can feel them with weather changing and stuff. So like,
yeah. Well, you don't want to be the Tin Man walking around being like, oil can, my knees.
I know.
And I'm like Obi-Wan in the background being like, he's more machine than man now.
I'm Metal Man. I have other people in me. I have.
You have yeah. Whoa.
So I've actually got multiple different people in me. I guess I'm being Eiffel Towered by cadavers.
Eiffel Towered into regular health, into a normal body.
Yeah.
Like you're like RoboCop. You're RoboCop, but it's not so much. You're not a cop. You're like
I'm not fast.
yeah.
So I guess I'm
You're-
not
you're-
RoboCop.
You're not RoboCop. You're just yeah. It's RoboCop, but new media. That's
Sure.
what.
It's my new channel.
Yeah.
New
exactly.
media RoboCop. That's my
Yeah.
new thing.
RoboCop online.
Yeah. Good.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
RoboCop 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Oh, my surgeon is the coolest guy in the world. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but surgeons are the best.
My surgeon is also the coolest guy in the world. I text him.
I want to text
He gave me his number, and I get to text him being like, "Hey man, just so you know, like this is what's going on." He's like, "Thanks, Jacob. Have a great day, LOL." And I'm like,
Oh, that's
"Yeah, man."
so good. So how old is your surgeon ballpark?
He's not like, I don't know. I want to say like late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
He's not. He's not like an old fella. Like he's like.
Okay.
He's like a he's like a guy. Like he's just
Yep.
like a. Just
Yeah.
like yep.
Super
like,
smart, talented.
Super
guy.
smart,
Yep.
talented is like, yeah, man, I cut people's brains open, try to save their life. It's like my thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm
jeez.
like, yeah, well, I think that jerking off is actually pretty funny, and I talk about that. And he's like, wow, that's awesome. Can't believe I'm saving this guy. I wonder if there's ever like he's ever seen like my tweets or like my videos, and he's like, I can't believe that's the person I kept around.
But
That's
you know
the one, like,
what, Jacob? You're saving people with your comedy.
Oh, thanks, Jake.
Your art is
My art-
saving
my-
people left and right.
Ah, well, geez to bees, buddy. Holy macaroni, that made me feel good.
I was wondering how old your surgeon was because mine is like I would say late 60s.
Whoa. Okay.
So
Different.
he's an older guy,
Yeah.
and he is. I strive to be him so much.
Hey, I think you've told me about him before. He's like
He's
like
so
very
cool.
straight to the point, right? Like he's
Very straight
like,
to the point. Like he my first knee X-ray ever, mind you, because
Mhm.
Boston Children's never X-rayed my knees. He X-rayed my knees, and he was like, "Well, I don't
Yeah.
know how the fuck this happened, but they're both broken in the same spot, so I guess we're just gonna figure out
right,
what to
he
do."
swore. You
Yeah,
told me that
he's-
he like
he's-
swore.
But he's so like nonchalant about it. And then I talked to him yesterday, and after my first 5 knee surgeries, they were all with him, and then
Yeah.
6 and 7 were in New York, and then 8's going to be back with him. But my first 5, he said that, and it was like a 2-year process of getting me to walk, and he said that after everything, and once I'm able to do a full squat, I can squat into his Audi R8, and he would take me on the highway, and he would just drive me around. And so I finally, like, the day came, and I did the full squat, and it is low to the ground because
Right.
it's a supercar. And
Oh yeah. They don't like that car probably weighs like, I don't know, 5 or 10 pounds because it goes really fast.
yeah, a quick breeze could just
Yeah, exactly. To knock that thing over.
So, and it was manual. He made sure, like, he wanted a manual car because he used to be a Porsche racer before he was a surgeon. Okay, so great, awesome. And then
Like some people have lived such a life. Like
so cool.
coolest guy on planet Earth.
So he took me, and it was all manual, and he
Yeah.
went. Let's just say we were in like a 60, and he went like 110,
Wow.
and was in the fast lane, a 2-lane highway, like very small highway. He was in the fast lane, and he was like, when you're this fast, people just move over. and people moved over. People started taking pictures because it looks like it is a beautiful car, and it's like
For sure.
it's like like chrome silver. Like it looks like you would look in and like Lil Baby would be in there, but it's just this old guy.
Or exactly, or like it would be like a like Daniel Craig would drive that in like another Bond movie or some shit. Like yeah, like yeah, like in my head I'm like, well, he's a doctor, he shouldn't be breaking the law, but doctors aren't cops.
No, doctors aren't cops.
No,
he said he's never gotten a ticket.
He's a See, like Doctors Without Borders, man. Just fucking, who cares?
Yeah,
who fucking cares?
He went 110 and a 60, and then not only that, but my mom was there with me because she had to bring me to every appointment or whatever.
Right.
And she said that she could hear us on the highway, which was like 3 miles out, because his car is so loud. And then I talked to him yesterday, and I said, "What did you bring to work today?" And he said, "Well, I brought the Raptor, and the Raptor is a ginormous Ford truck that's like $100,000." And he's like, "Yeah, I just brought the Raptor." And I was like, "Okay, what about the Audi?" And he goes, "No, I sold the Audi for a Lambo."
Oh my God.
Coolest guy ever.
He is truly the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, I think he has the biggest house in Southern Maine. Like, he is the coolest, just like saving, like, he's the only reason that I was able to walk. He fucking did the x-rays. Right. Like, he is the coolest guy in the world. He's the best.
I want to meet that surgeon.
Yeah.
So like saving lives and then being like, well, I guess if you're saving lives and you're like performing surgery, you have a right to be like, yeah, I'm going to buy a crazy expensive car and drive really fast because this is a really stressful job and I need to feel something after a long day of saving people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, he's
straight
so
up
cool.
like cool person stuff. Like like classic cool person. Like I have a fast car.
Yeah.
That's like movie stuff.
Like 70s actor. Like super
bingo.
It just so cool. Fucking love
like
guy.
A Burt Reynolds type thing where you're like, no, like a real like, no, we're gonna go really fast, and then I'm gonna like. He was like, I bet he probably was like gonna crack you a beer, and you're like,
sure.
No, we can't, and then just be like, no, we can do this.
Yeah,
like we don't, where we're going, there's no law. Like
I fucking love him so much.
Where we're going, there is no Lyme disease. There is no cancer.
I would, God, you know what? It would be so much fun, and I don't know how this would work, but like to talk to like those doctors or to talk to like people like that. I think that would be so fun on this.
I would love to speak to a healthcare professional and I want to hear. Maybe I'll text my neurosurgeon and see if he'll come on the pod.
That would be so fun.
I think that'd be a blast. We'll see. We'll try and make it happen. We're going to try and make that happen. We're going to have some real neurosurgeons and doctors.
That would be so cool.
Because I would like to fuck around with some doctors and because the people who are the funniest are the people who work in hospitals. When I was leaving the last week, I was wearing I have a sweater that says Newfoundland. It has like a howling dog, like a howling wolf. And so, like one of the ER nurses was like, he was like, dude, fucking sick sweater. And I was like, thank you. And he was like, have you ever been? I love Newfoundland. And then Eilish was like, I'm from Newfoundland. And he was like, no
he freaks
way.
Out. He combusts.
In the middle of the hospital. Like in the middle of like there's like people like screaming in the next room. And he was like, that sweater's sick. Coolest guy ever.
He's got a patient who's like bleeding out his ass.
He's like sawing someone's leg off, and he's like, that's sick.
Stops what he's doing. That's so good.
He's like, holy shit, where did you get that fucking sweater?
Well, that makes sense. Like healthcare professionals need to have like your day is so stressful, and like, but you need to find those things where it's like, that's a really cool sweater. Like that's so much fun.
Well, you become desensitized to it because it's your job.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck about blood or shit or puke because
Yeah.
you have to do it every day. So when someone's bleeding, you're like, all right, like it becomes work. Obviously, there is like some more. Like, you're not just like brushing it off,
Sure.
but it has to become normalized because that's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
healthcare professionals in any regard, you're the fucking coolest.
Absolutely.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, we
like-
do.
We can squeeze in a question.
Oh, I think the last episode that nobody's going to listen to is where I did my world famous question song. So maybe I can recreate it here.
Let's recreate it.
Okay. Boom 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 boom. Questions.
Questions. Yep. Okay. We'll make a jingle. So what was it? Sorry, just do the notes again so I can lock it in.
Bum 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 bum. Questions.
Okay, great. That sounds like GCED, which that's for you music nerds. You might know that as the most common chord progression, but no, that's how it sounds like in my head, and I don't do that in every single jingle I make.
I
Don't reverse engineer my podcast theme or my YouTube theme or the theme in this. It's not the same chord progression. It's not. Don't double check that. Don't reverse engineer that shit. Just trust me, it's not the same. It's not the same chord progression. I promise.
Oh, that's so funny. Holy shit. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Okay. Let's see. And I am so sorry. First of all, I would like to apologize to the people whose questions we answered on the last podcast.
Oh yeah.
I will try to get them back,
Yep.
but I am super sorry because
we will go back to the old episode and we will find it and then we will re-answer it.
just kidding, found them. Okay.
Oh, great.
Um
Holy shit.
So we've answered these twice, and that's fine. So,
It's fine.
this question is from Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello, Nicole. I am curious to know if there is anything that surprised you about your individual experiences while being sick. Is there anything that people would be surprised to learn?
I wonder what I said last time. 'Cause I feel like I had
Yeah,
a
I
good
was
answer
I
last
was
time.
I was thinking too, and I totally forgot. Oh, I remember mine.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can find good relaxing moments in being sick.
Yeah.
Where you like for my upcoming surgery, I'm thinking of it like I get 3 days off. Like I'm not nervous about it. I've done it a million times, but it's like I get 3 days off and I get to play video games and I get to eat and drink whatever I want.
Yep.
And I have no worries. And I think finding like comfort in having surgeries and all these different weird things seems strange. I feel like to some people, but it's pretty relaxing at some point. It's awful and horrifying,
Yeah.
and it's the most painful experience in the world. But sometimes you can find some simple moments.
Well, I think there's sometimes where like I think about those like relaxing moments because at certain times like you were like I remember I was just supposed to lie down. I was just supposed to lie down and relax and let things happen to me because they were like you need to like rest because you're not going to feel very good. And it was true. But there's some times where life gets really stressful now and I almost romanticize the idea of being sick again because it would mean that I would get to take time for myself.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing. Like it reminded me that you can take time for yourself because working and stuff like that can make you sick. Stress can make
absolutely.
you sick.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to treat yourself like I'm sick right now and I need to take some time. I need to rest. I need to treat. I think that's like the thing of like it taught me to like treat myself better because constantly ignoring myself will only make things worse. So a balance of, I don't know, whether that's work or relationships or whatever can cause you stress, is taking time for yourself. And
Yeah.
because I guess that's applicable to real life. But the one thing that did really surprise me was how I would have days where I felt back to normal, and I needed to do normal things. In my head, like, because in movies, the way they portray sickness is like, you're just sick all the time. You don't feel good. Your family, it's emotional and it sucks. And it's true.
Yeah.
But there are days that are really good. There was days where I was like, I need to go on a walk today. I need to go walk somewhere. I need to, like, I feel good, so I want to go do that. There was days where I would wake up and I'd be like, I want to cook breakfast today.
Yep.
And so like there was days that were actually really good and normal, and that's really surprised me with being sick. And don't pigeonhole yourself to be like, I'm sick, everything needs to suck. Allow yourself to be like, no, I feel good today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel good until I feel bad. I'm gonna take this moment of feeling good and stretch it out as long as I can, because I don't know when I'm gonna feel like that again, I guess.
Yeah.
That was something that shocked me. I thought it was all gonna suck, but it was actually, there's a lot of really good stuff that like really good days.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. We have another question from Anonymous. Did you guys ever have trouble with medications that doctors gave you? All the time.
Oh yeah, I found out I'm allergic to dexamethasone, which is a very common steroid that they give you post surgery, or they give it to you while you're in chemo. It's great for steroids. They use it's great for taking swelling down, and a lot of the time they can help with nausea, or they can like just like kind of keep you at bay while a bunch of other stuff is happening. So I found out that I have an allergy to dexamethasone. I get really itchy. I get really bad back knee. And I like my body reacts really poorly to it.
Yeah.
So but then like it was, and mine's, for me, I know that you, I think, were a lot more experimental and had a lot more, like, I only had one regimen. They were like, my chemo regimen is called the VIP. There's tons of different acronyms. It's funny that it's called VIP, but it's because you get so much chemo that they call it the VIP thing almost as a joke, because it's like, you're getting a lot. So we're going to treat you like, and that's why I had to stay in the hospital, because I was like, I was a very important person.
Yeah.
It should be VIC. Very important cancer.
That's all you are. You're not a person. You're just cancer.
No, just a cancer. I am a cancerous guy. But it was like, so I had, like, it's because it was germinoma. They were like, okay, this is the chemo we're gonna use. Like, everyone's like, oh, the chemo is just chemo, and I'm like, no, there's hundreds of different types of chemo. Yeah. I had 3 different types. I had cisplatin, which is a platinum chemo. I had etoposide, and ifosfamide. I think those are the 3. And then I had, like, I don't know, maybe like I would get some dexamethasone, and then I would get like I don't know, maybe I would get 3 different chemos a day, along with maybe 11 other medications through my IV or orally. Yep. And all of them were doing different things to combat the other medications. Like, it was insane. So, but when you're getting, I don't know, 15 different medications, some of them are bound to not work. But with mine, it was like, well, you have this cancer, so this is the best cocktail that we have for this cancer. So if some stuff doesn't work, it's kind of like tough luck. Like, you're already doing chemo, which just destroys your body. So like, it was hard for me to be like, hey, I don't think this is good for me, because they were like, yeah, it's not supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to feel good on this. Like, it's killing. This is gonna kill you to the point where you just stay alive later. Like, we are basically killing everything so you can get rid of this cancer, and then we're gonna rebuild your body. Like, it was really weird. But there was multiple times where with like post treatment stuff where I was like, this medication isn't working for me, or I'm a little baby when it comes to nausea and tummy stuff, and I went through so many different nausea medication.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like I puked multiple times every day during radiation, like multiple times, and I was like, is this normal? And they were like, yeah, people puke, but you like most people get through, but with brain radiation, they're like, most people can get through like the whole thing and they'll puke at the end, or they'll puke once in between, but I was stopping like every 2 minutes just.
Jesus.
So there was, I was constantly like, we need stronger stuff. So I don't know. Yes. The answer is yes. I've had so many different things with medication.
Yeah. I've had stuff happen where like, even like now, like I just recently upped my depression medication, and I can go to the gym and watch what I eat all I want, and I will continue to gain weight because of the medication I'm on.
Right.
And so that sucks. And
yeah.
Or like even just like after knee surgeries and stuff, like I have a lot of like skin reactions to a bunch of different things, or allergic reactions to medicine, or there's so many different things that have happened that it's sort of hard to keep track of. But I think definitely yes, a lot of bad things have come out of wrong prescriptions.
And it's hard to recognize if this is when things aren't going right, it's hard to recognize when it's a side effect or when it's actually not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I find that's very true with like things like anxiety and depression medication, especially because when things like physical ailments, I find are a lot easier to diagnose. Mm-hmm. It's either for the most part, it's usually pain, no pain.
Yep.
And what's the level of pain? Okay, what are your allergies? And it's pretty simple to be like, okay, this is the pain medication. Mm. I feel like because there's still a lot of navigation to go with mental health stuff, that it's really difficult to fully identify what the issue is and how to medicate it. Because I think I was really lucky when I found out I had anxiety, and then I started my medication. I was lucky that it worked, mm-hmm. and I felt a lot better, and that most of the side effects were actually like pretty mundane, and I actually like I feel like that's a bit of an anomaly. But especially with mental health medication, I find it's really difficult because of I think of how we're not uneducated, but it's just not there yet.
Yeah,
because these are newer conversations, and it's not the 90s anymore. Like, it's not like we have a kid with ADHD and we go, yeah, just give them like a heap of Ritalin and then they'll just shut up. Sure. Like, it's not that simple, because then people grow up with that stuff and they go, I don't feel good as an adult. Mm. And it's because we gave you methadone as a child.
Sure.
We drugged children. So it's a much more complex issue, or not issue, but it's more complex because you're messing with people's brain chemistries.
Yeah.
Messing with emotion, I find, is a lot different than messing with like a sore back.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. Because people have had sore backs for a long time, but people acknowledging mental health stuff is very recent.
There's most people on the planet that will still ignore their mental health because mm-hmm. I think there's still, it's not like an open stigma, but like an internal stigma of being like, well, no, it's whether I can't afford it, I don't want to be labeled as something. I find a lot of it is like, it's an internal fear. This is how I felt, being like, no, I forever I didn't want to go to therapy, or I didn't want to talk to a therapist or psychiatrist because I was like, no, I'm fine. That's because I'm belittling my own anxiety. I'm belittling my own mental health. To
Sure.
being like, no, I'm a generally happy person. That's because people describe me as a happy person. I've taken that label already without letting myself feel other emotions. So I think there's a stigma around, at least internally, to be like, no, I don't want to do that because whatever your reason is. But it's, yeah, I think that the honesty behind this isn't working is way more prevalent in mental health medication.
Yeah, I was going to reach out to my doctor, like psychiatrist, today, I believe, to see like what other options there are, because
Yeah.
there's no it seems like a lot of people just continue to gain weight, and I don't want to do that. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too is recognizing that you probably don't feel very good.
yeah,
You know.
yeah,
And that's the point of all of this is that you just want to feel better.
for sure.
And if something isn't making you feel better, then, definitely
Fix it.
reach out and say, hey, fix my shit, man. Or let's try another thing because
Yeah,
this ain't working.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a great question.
that was a great
Yeah.
question. Thank you.
That's that's another. What you do what's the jingle?
Well, no. That's not a jingle. That's the questions jingle. Well,
No, I know
technically-
that's what I'm saying.
That was
You
question-
got to
oh.
end it with the jingle.
Okay, so
that
it's going to
was-
be different than the first one.
So I have to do two. I have to make two.
Well, I don't remember.
And
I don't
that's
remember the
fine
last
because
one.
it's gonna be two different chord progressions. And I swear to God, I promise.
Just
If we're doing, I can think of more.
yeah.
I know there's more, and that's okay. They're gonna be two different ones, and I'll make sure of it.
Ding, ding, ding. Questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fuck. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm my inner the music guy up here is like yeah we got it.
Yeah, that's
Whatever
a
that
E
yep.
flat for sure.
E flat. I don't know about that. I was thinking more something simple like maybe like a B minor E. We'll figure it out.
No,
Figure it
you'll
out. I
figure
like-
it out.
I'll figure it out. Well, no, me and all the people up here will figure it out. I gotta.
Good. Good, because I don't
Whenever
know
people
anything
say,
about
"Yeah, let my people talk to your people," I take it literally. I'm like, "Yeah, because all the stuff up here, right?"
Yeah,
I'm
all my
like,
people. All my friends.
all my people up here, like everything, because I talk to me all day long.
I know
like-
you do.
I talked and it's because when I do the thing where I say something and then I murmur to myself to make sure that it sounded right. That's like there's so many different versions of Jacob Andrew Sharp up here being like, let's double check that sounded okay. But I don't have someone working up here that is like, okay, but let's not show it physically. Like, there's
that person's gone. Yeah.
That person got fired, and I think we shouldn't have fired that guy. Because
I like it
the
though, because I like when
optics-
you rub the mustache and then you like.
I rub
you
my
go-
mustache and I go, it's crazy.
No, it's really good. It's really good.
There's my anxiety is me going, God, I hope I didn't say something insane there, and I hope Jake doesn't hate me forever.
Never.
That's the mind of Jacob Andrew Sharp.
Absolutely.
And that's the mind of Jake Doolittle, because guess what? It's all in our heads, baby.
all in your head.
It's all in our heads. It's all in our heads. What? Did you say cookie?
Cookie. That's what you
Oh,
are.
kooky. I'm a kook. I'm a kook.
Yeah.
That's put that on a shirt in 2009. I got you a kooky, but I eated it. Put that in your MSN profile picture.
Yeah, eated with like just D's, no T.
Yeah.
Eated.
It was just like a blue blob. He's like, I eated it. Not cute. Put that in your XD and RAR.
Yeah, raw on that, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening in. This has been another episode of All in Your Heads with me, Jacob Andrew Sharp, and Jake Doolittle. And
Yes.
stay tuned till next week because we're gonna be answering more questions. We're gonna be we got some juice to talk about next week, right, Jake?
So much juice.
Lots of juice.
Little too much juice. I need a shunt to get it out.
Yeah, I get. I realize now that my sweaters that I put out,
Yes.
and Irvin did an incredible job on those designs, but being like, yeah, anyone want a sweater with me drinking my brain juice out of my shunt?
I
I was like,
your
you know what,
brain
that's
fluid,
pretty
yeah.
niche. That's pretty
Yeah.
niche.
I'll wear it, and I'll wear it proudly.
Thanks, buddy. You're the best. All right. Well, all right, we got to get out of here because we got to go suck each other's brain juice out of a sun straw. All
Bye,
right,
everyone.
I love you, buddy.
Love you too.